button, so that's the main reason. So it's a matter of personal preference. Especially against the weaker player, he's only gonna stack off there with really big hands. So you know, again, you know, I just don't think he's gonna have ace jack and ace queen in his range there too often. Maybe ace queen suited once in a while, but I think most of the time he's just gonna be flipping with me or have me crushed. You know, I don't like the 8 pairing too often, but I think I have the best hand here, and I might be able to induce a shove by making a smallish bet. I'm timing out now. That's not good. Okay, I'm gonna have to call there. He ended up having pocket 7s, if you didn't see that. So, had him absolutely dominated. He only had 2 outs with 1 card to come, so roughly 4% equity, 4 or 5%. So, pretty big edge there whenever you can get it in as a 95% favorite. And that's what I mean by you're able to get bigger edges on people post flop. There's no way you can get a 95% edge pre-flop on somebody, but you can post-flop, and that's why I think early in the sit and goes it's so important to be a good post-flop player, because all the donks are left in the tournament, and they're the ones you're most likely to get chips from, and you know, you want to play post-flop, which again makes that mistake with the ace king even bigger in my opinion. By calling their pre-flop and you know, playing it in position against a weak player is going to be much better than just flipping against queens there. Okay, on the bubble here, I'm gonna go ahead and fold. Alright, we turn an open-ender here, so I'm going to call here, getting good odds. 6 deuce, I'm going to go ahead and fold and hopefully get a better hand dealt to me on one of the next 2 hands. Alright, I'm not going to bluff after taking that line there. Alright, so queen 3, I'm going to go ahead and shove. Okay, if I min raise here and this player shoves on me, it puts me in a really difficult spot because I don't really want to call with queen jack. The big stack also is a loose player, so I'm actually going to open fold the queen jack there. I think the player in 3rd place, he's a good player and he knows that he has to take a chance to make it to the money, so, and he wants to play a big pot against me because I'm the one in 2nd place. So I think he's going to shove with a very wide range of hands there, and calling it off with queen high there is not going to be great. Okay, so this player raises ace queen, obviously is a monster hand, 3-handed. I don't want to induce any action here from him really by making like a small 3-bet and have him shove on me with like pocket 7s or whatever that he might fold to a shove if I just go ahead and shove. So that's my line of thinking there for making that play, and he did end up folding. Okay. Alright, so we're in the money here. He limps, king high. I'm just going to jam it in. Alright, everyone's checked to me here, so I'm going to put out a small bet. Alright, this guy's checked again, so I'm going to go ahead and bet. Okay, this player calls me. I don't think he's check calling with an ace too often, but I also don't think he's check calling with a flush draw too often either. I think he would bet his flush draw most of the time. So he may have a jack, but it's, you know, again, it's a spot with middle pair where he could very well have me beat, and I'm basically just using my hand as a bluff catcher at this point. And he did. He called me with absolutely nothing on the flop, which I don't like at all. I don't like his play, which I do call on the flop with nothing occasionally, but when you do that, you want to do it when you're in position on the player, so when they check to you on the turn, you can take it away from them. Out of position, it's so difficult to win a pot like that when you just flat call with nothing. So I don't mind the play of floating people in general, but it's pretty tough to do out of position, and you know, it usually ends up costing you more money than you make at it in the long run, doing it out of position. I think I did call with the fours there. It was 100 more chips, but with it being a four-way pot, it's more likely that if I do hit my set, I will win someone's entire stack because it's a multi-way pot. Alright, so this is a spot where I was talking about earlier. I would have folded if I wasn't paying attention. This is a good spot to bully, with both players having 10 big blinds. And both players having 10 big blinds, and I have the chip lead with, you know, over twice as much as them. So on this draw heavy board, I did hit a set. I'm just going to check, or go ahead and jam it in. He's definitely going to call with flush draws, king X, you know, all hands I have crushed, but I think just jamming is best. He made his flush, but I made quads. Quads beat a flush. Okay, so I'll min raise here with the ace-5 on the button. Same thing here with queens, looking to induce the action. Ace-3, I'm going to jam. Looks like we did induce action with the queens. Looks like somebody jammed. If I can get back to that table. Ace-10 jammed, so hand we have dominated. And it held. Alright, again, bullying on this table. The blinds are up. This guy's checked twice, so I'm going to bet now. I do have an open ender, so I have outs in case called. Alright, after he limps, this guy's only got 200 left. Like, you know, is he ever going to call me here when I jam? I know it's a big over jam, but he really can't call me. And this guy check raises here, so I kind of screwed myself there from getting to see the river with an open ender. But I don't think he's going to check raise the turn there too often. When he does do it, it's obviously going to be a a monster hand. He could do it as a bluff. This is a spot on the bubble where I'm going to fold ace-10 to the big stack because the short stack is so short. He's got to go all in soon. And I'm getting a little behind here on the tables, so I'm try to catch up here. Okay. Again here, just going to go ahead and bully. I'm going to go ahead and call here and with Queen 10. Defending my blind for slightly over a min raise. Three-handed. Alright, so this guy survived. You know, I could shove here to continue to bully, but with 4 deuce offsuit, I'm just gonna let that one go. The antes aren't in play yet, and the opponent in the big blind does have a decent sized stack, so I don't want to get overzealous there, trying to bully the table. Alright, I want to see what this guy had. He had Queen 8 and sucked out on my Ace 10, so that's not good. No, but I just kind of wanted to see what his range was there for shoving. Alright, we've hit a set. This guy, he folds his C-bets a lot, and he tends to try and take pots away when check 2. He took one away last time from me when I checked to him, so I'm going to give him the chance to do the same. He doesn't do it this time, so I'm going to go ahead and bet the turn. Okay, here getting good odds, basically a min raise to me to try and eliminate the player. I'm going to call with a suited queen. Okay, so, you know, we've hit top set. He could have a flush here, but with top set, three-handed, I'm going to continue and go with my hand. He ends up folding, so he must have had a bluff there. I'm going to call here with position on the second place player. I think I can take it away from him a lot, and so here I slow played my hand. It looks like this guy has an ace, so I'm going to go ahead and raise because I don't want a flush card to come where he's got 3 aces and he's scared of a flush. So this is the perfect type of flop for me to try and take it away from him. I do have a gut shot over cards, and I can rep a low flop pretty darn well. And even if he has pocket kings in that spot, he's not really loving his hand too much, I don't think, when I jam there. And definitely if he has a bluff or any kind of ace high hand, he's definitely folding. He's may even fold second, third pair there, maybe even top pair. So definitely a lot of fold equity in play like that. I'm not going to call here with king queen as before when I folded king queen against the second place player. Even with if he has ace high there, it's a pretty you know, I don't want to double him up and give him the chip lead and the chance to bully the table. So it's a spot where, you know, I may fold the best hand there. Gonna go ahead and try and bully these guys here. Alright, so we are heads up there on that table now, the bottom table. Alright, ace king, I'll jam. Okay, so I'm gonna take a stab at this flop. Again, using the mouse wheel to try and get the in-between bets there is not my standard thing. If you see me like going from like 200 to 400 to 200, I'm trying to land it on 300, and the mouse wheel is kind of touchy. I normally use the Xbox controller. Okay, with deuces, again, similar reasoning. I don't want to call and double up one of the guys, you know, that I think I can continue to bully. And, you know, in these 6 max sit and goes, in comparison to some other types of sit and goes, I think you can do a lot more bullying in these games than you can in some other types of sit and goes, because when you get to the bubble in these, there's still some room to play typically. Like, it's not just a shove and fold game every time when you're on the bubble. And when you get into a situation in these where both of the second and third players have a pretty similar chip stack and you have like double what they do, you really have a lot of fold equity against them. They can only call you with like top tier hands, and top tier hands don't come around too often. So you know, it's a type of sit and go that I think if you like to bully players, then these games might be for you. Okay, Queen Jack heads up, definitely a shove there. Okay, Ace King, I'm going to raise hoping to induce. Alright, these guys' chip stacks now are pretty good for me to start bowling, so I'm going to shove there with the 10-9 offsuit. Okay, I've hit an ace. You know, heads up, I don't have very many hands on this guy. I'm not sure how he's going to react, but I'm just going to go ahead and bet small. He called pretty quickly. The 5-6 here, you know, it could be a shove there, but I'm going to fold it. And I'll call here with ace-jack, blind on blind. You know, I think this guy has a pretty weak hand, but I'm going to continue betting to try to get value out of it. Alright, he limps, and with king 10 I'm going to shove over his limp. He set me up there with queens, but it looks like I sucked out on him. Alright, unfortunately that guy won the coin flip with pocket twos against my ace-jack. Alright, I'm going to check here with middle pair. Alright, this guy min bets. I'm going to go for a check raise and hope to get called by a jack or a flush draw. Pocket eights here, I'm going to call, have him dominated. He had pocket threes if you didn't see that. And I had the pocket eights. Alright, he folded, so he must have had nothing there. Pocket tens, easy shove here. Deuce 5, I'm just going to let it go heads up. I'm going to go ahead and try a 3-bet bluff here. Out of position, you know, I talked about how it's more difficult to do that, but I noticed that player had a fold to 3-bet of 75%, so it's a little better to try against him. And I got cold called by the player in big blind. You know, this is a pretty good flop for me to represent, but when you get called by two opponents, it's likely they're going to have something. So I don't think both players are going to fold to a c-bet there too often. Here I want action, so I'm going to make a small re-raise against, I think he was a weaker player. I wouldn't make a small re-raise like that against a strong player, because I think they'll see through it that I have a strong hand myself. But against an opponent, you know, he's got a 50 VPIP. He's probably not going to read into that too much. He did have pocket jacks and managed to win the hand, but you know, I think you get more flat calls when you make the smaller raise there against weak players, because they will just they'll call you with like king queen and king jack and stuff like that. Alright, I limped here. I'm going to go ahead and fold it. It's the first time he's shoving, and he's shoving for like 17 or 18 big blinds, I think, there. So, just going to fold the ace rag. Okay, this guy, you know, I don't have much information on him. He's raising in the cutoff. Ace 10, I'm going to go ahead and shove it in. Pocket nines is a call. Run into kings. So that's a little unfortunate. Okay, you know, this is a decent spot for me to c-bet, I think. Okay, with pocket sixes, I'm going to raise, and I will call a shove if he does. Alright, on the bubble here, I have slightly more chips than third place player. Ace 8's strong enough for me to shove all in there, I think. Okay, with pocket sixes here, you know, I'd probably have the best hand, but it's a spot where I don't want to get check raised off my hand, and I have showdown value. So I want to control the size of the pot and try to get to showdown cheaply. With the ace coming on the turn, I'm going to go ahead and bet now. Not really as a bluff. I think it's more because as a value bet and protecting my hand against overcards. Like if he has king 10 or something there. He just open shoves here. You know, he's got a lot of big blinds, but he's being very aggressive, so I think this is a call. It's pretty marginal, but I think it's going to be ahead most of the time. And it is there against king 8 offsuit. I don't really like his shove at all. I think he's risking too many big blinds with a hand that is only going to get called by stronger hands. You know, I'm definitely calling there with ace king, king queen, ace 8 because I called with ace 7, which has him dominated. All pocket pairs higher than 8s. You know, there's not much in my calling range that he has beat, so it's, you know, I think it would be better for him just to limp or min raise there. But I did end up winning that, so that was nice. Okay, so this guy checks this flop, so I'm going to go ahead and bet now. Okay, so you guys have got to see a lot of heads up and short-handed action, so I think this has been a pretty good video so far. You know, here I see bets. It's a good flop for me to go ahead and go for. He check raises small. I'm just going to give it up at this point. You know, I am capable of putting in a 3-bet bluff there on the flop, and I was thinking about it, but this is a player I don't have much history with, and he's checked min raising, so I think it's just, you know, more likely that he has a hand there than he's bluffing. So a 3-bet bluff there is risking a lot of chips, and it's a high risk, low reward play. So I just elect to take the safer route there. Okay, so we flop a flush draw on a pretty dry board. I'm just going to go ahead and c-bet, and if he raises me, I'm definitely willing to get it all in on that flop. I have overcards and the flush draw, so definitely willing to gamble there. I'm going to go ahead and defend with Jack 9 offsuit. Playing heads up out of position hands like that, if you flop top pair or any type of hand, you know, your opponent's going to likely c-bet, and you can get in a check raise and maybe get them to stick around with a hand that they shouldn't, and you know, finish off the tournament with a win. You know, playing a speculative hand like that out of position for a min raise is not bad. I think you can do that profitably. He hasn't donk bet too much yet, and I do have top pair. I want to make this look like a bluff, so I'm just going to make it 3x there on the flop. He bet 400, I'd made it 1200, and we'll see what he does. He just folds, so he was just taking a stab there, probably with some random garbage. And it wouldn't be bad to just flat call his raise there if you think he's making a stab with random garbage, because he may continue to bluff on the turn. But then you are also giving free cards to overcards. If he has a hand like King Jack or King Queen, he can obviously spike and hit one of his 6 outs. It's taking a while here. I really hope he does something here, makes a move. Okay, this guy has a 42% attempt to steal. I'll shove up to like 10 times the size of my opponent's bet. So this is a spot where I'm going to go ahead and just shove ace queen against his wide stealing range. Okay, we've hit top pair here with ace queen out of position. Opponent checked back, so I'm going to bet the turn. Alright, with pocket kings, we just 3-bet this guy on the previous hand. So weak players will take it personally when you start 3-betting them, you know, with a high frequency. So I want to definitely 3-bet this hand and hope he gets fed up or just you know, does something dumb and spazzes out. He does call, so I'm going to make a small bet and try and induce a shove from him. Okay, this guy's getting very aggressive, so again I'm calling with ace 7 here. So it's a flip against pocket 5s. He again called the small bet, so I'm just going to shove it in now on the turn. And with pocket queens here, I'm jamming it in as well. Okay, pretty good result for a 3-way all-in to be up against those hands. And he folded to my shove when I had pocket kings there, so he was just must have got fed up and just was check calling was his method of defense against 3-bets, which is not a great method of defense in my opinion. Alright, this is kind of a weird spot here with pocket 9s. You know, I'm gonna have the best hand here a lot of the time, but you know, I don't think I can call too often there because they are gonna show up with better hands. With pocket 3s, I'm just gonna fold it. You saw me 3-bet pocket 2s earlier to a late position steal. Again, I think calling is probably the worst option there. I think 3-betting or folding the small pairs is better out of position. Okay, with ace queen here, we have a loose player here on the button. So I'm going to make a 3x raise for that to try and discourage him from flat calling, and still the players in the blinds might shove over me. Alright, he did flat call, and then we did get shoved on, so I'm going to re-shove to get the pot heads up. King 9, I'll shove there. And here I've bet the turn, and I'm just going to continue betting here on the river for value. With ace queen here, I'll raise to isolate the limper. Okay, this player, I'm just going to fold the ace 4 offsuit. And here, this is definitely a call with ace 9. Alright, we got him dominated. Here with jacks, you know, this is a really weird spot, but I think I have to call. Yeah, he's got ace king. I couldn't see him showing up there with a big pair. I think he would raise smaller to try and get more action. Unfortunately, I lost that all in to this guy when he had ace 8 and I had ace 9. Okay, so blind on blind. We're on the bubble here. Definitely a shove here with ace 7. Okay, this player makes a small raise. With these stack sizes, I think he's just stealing here a lot, trying to bully, but not risk his whole stack. So I'm going to shove in the ace 8 suited. He definitely could be making that raise with a big pair trying to trap, but I think most of the time it's just going to be a steal attempt that doesn't want to risk his entire stack. So I did end up taking it away from him there. Okay, you know, against this guy, he's very tight. I'm just going to fold the ace 4 offsuit. Okay, blind on blind again. I'm the short stack on the bubble, so I definitely have to shove on this guy. Alright, again, this will be a shove for me. And here I'm going to give this guy one with 3-5 offsuit. It's a good spot to give him one. Also, it will give me more credibility when I shove on him in future hands. He'll know that I'm not just shoving every single hand because I did fold one to him. Alright, so with ace king here, I'm going to go ahead and bet. It's a pretty draw heavy board, but with me having overcards and a gut shot, it's not a spot where you want to check call because you have no fold equity that way, and you can definitely get hands that are ahead of you to fold on that flop. If he has like pocket 5s, pocket 6s, pocket 7s, even I think there was an 8 out there. Even if he has like ace 8, he might fold there. So you can get hands that have you beat to fold. You also, if he calls you, you get to realize some of your equity to spike an ace or a king or the 10 to make the nuts. So it's a spot where I think it's best to just go ahead and bet. With the flush draw here, this guy donk bets 33%. I'm going to raise, trying to either take it away from him on the flop or get a free card on the turn, because if he calls my raise, I think he'll check to me a lot on the turn. and I can go ahead and take a free card. He does min bet again, so I'm just going to call. You know, when he's taking this line, I think he's maybe drawing as well. So if all the draws miss on the river, I might make a play at the pot. The draws did miss, and he min bets again. So when he min bets again, I don't think he was drawing. I think he has like a weak jack, something like Jack 9 or Jack 8, or maybe like pocket 8s. So I'm just gonna go ahead and fold. I don't think if I make a big bet there, the way I played the hand, I don't think he's gonna believe me. So you know, I decide not to make a play there. And that's important, because sometimes your plan is to go ahead and make a play there, but when your opponent gives you more information about the hand, with his min bet again on the river, that's more information. So sometimes you have to change your plan in the middle of the hand because you've gained more information from your opponent about their likely holdings. So you know, that's important to be able to, you know, change your initial read, or you know, add to it, or you know, change what your plan is throughout the hand. Here I'm going to go ahead and shove, just because these guys have similar stacks, and again, it's a good bully spot, I think. Again, this is a good bully spot, so I'm going to go ahead and go for it. Okay, this guy limps again, so ace-10 suited is a pretty strong hand, so I'm going to shove it. Here I'm going to min-raise with the intent to call a shove with king-10. Against the aggressive regulars, heads up, when you min-raise against them, they'll shove a very wide range of hands as a re-steal. So raise calling there with king-10 is actually probably a profitable play, because they will they'll re-raise with all kinds of garbage. Not all players will, but a lot of the aggressive regulars will, especially in 6 max, I've noticed. Alright, this is a spot I wouldn't mind inducing, so I'm just going to make a min raise on the button and hope someone shoves. Here with ace jack, I think we had a similar spot earlier in the video. I'm going to shove on ice cold river. Okay, king X suited. Gonna go ahead and shove heads up here. Alright, this guy's checked twice, so I probably have the best hand, but it's a spot where my hand's vulnerable to a check raise, so I'm just gonna go ahead and try and show it down cheaply. Alright, for 8 big blinds with a suited king, I think it's ahead of his shoving range, so it's a call for me. Alright, he did have me dominated, but I got there. Alright, we've rivered a set. He definitely could have a 5 here, though. You know, this is a spot where, because the way the hand check, I think just calling there is best, because I haven't really differentiated his hand range to find out if, like, he has a 5 there. There hasn't been any betting, so it's basically a guessing game. Does he have a 5 or not? And if I raise there, he's only going to pretty much call me if he has the 5. He may call with a 2-pair type hand, but how likely is he to slow play 2-pair, flop and turn? So there's not many hands he can call a raise there with. He did end up showing up with a complete bluff, so if I raise there, he's just going to fold his bluffs and only call me when he has me beat. So because of all those reasons, I didn't raise, and I just called there. Okay, You know, here it's kind of a tough spot. I'm gonna go ahead and let it go. Alright, so I'm getting a little behind on tables again. Here's a good bully spot, especially as the blinds get bigger, up to 200, 400. You can really pick up a lot of chips. That was a mistake. I should have completed there with Queen 10 suited. Just getting a little behind on the tables, so made a mistake there. Okay, heads up here. Guy looks like a weak player, so I'm just going to check and see a flop. He has a pretty significant chip lead on me, so just looking to hit something. If I miss, I'll just check fold. Okay, with pocket jacks here, I'm just going to flat call. Same reasoning for calling with pocket jacks there as with ace king. If I re-raise here, I'm just going to get him to fold all his smaller pairs, all of his hands I have dominated, and he's only going to stay in the hand with me when he has a coin flip with me or he has me dominated. So just flat calling here is fine, I think. And I make a set on the turn, so I'm going to raise, hoping he slow played ace king or ace queen type hand on the flop. And here with ace 10, I think you got to call. Yep. Alright, he jams now, so just get it in. He ended up getting there with king 10, so it's pretty unfortunate cooler. And this guy did get me with queen 10, which is unfortunate as well. Okay, with me having the short stack here, I got to take a chance here with king 6 suited. With king 10 here, you know, most people I would call there, but he hasn't shown much aggression heads up, and it really looks like he had a pretty strong hand there. Against most people I would call the king 10 there, but against him I think he's more likely to have a strong hand there because he'd been limping and just playing pretty passively, so for him to make a big raise like that, it's more likely to have me beat. With the ace 9 here, we got a couple of shorter stacks, so I'm gonna go ahead and shove it. You know, it's kind of a bigger shove, but I'm only risking it against one player. I'm only risking all of my chips against one player, I should say. And you know, he calls here with 5 high, so anytime you can get somebody to call with 5 high, it's a pretty good situation. Okay, I bet on this flop with fours, just trying to take it down. After called, I'm just going to check and see what he does. Okay, he bets pretty small. He could have a flush draw here though, so I'm going to call and see what he does on the turn, or excuse me, on the river. Could have a 7 or a queen or a higher pocket pair though. And when he bets small on the river, I don't think it's a bluff. I think he would bet bigger as a bluff. I think he's looking to get some thin value there. And he had the best hand, most likely, in my opinion. Okay, so really dry board here. Just going to go ahead and c-bet it. Alright, I have less than 10 big blinds, so I'm just going to shove in ace-king. And here I'll just make a normal raise. Alright, so you know, in these spots with 3 big blinds, you got to call with a very wide range, and 7-10 is, I think, getting the odds to call there. It's part of running bad is you know, when you make a call like that with 7-10 and you run into 8-10, that's you know, for him to have somebody dominated there is like really good for him. I'm gonna go ahead and re-raise this guy's min raise with Queen Jack there. Here I'm just gonna shove for 800 with Ace Queen. Pocket eights, I'm going to make a normal raise attempt from the small blind here and hopefully get some action, but he folded. Alright, with pocket nines here, this guy is raising 300, early position. I'm just going to flat call here. Again, I'm going to c-bet this flop. I've hit 2 pair. I c-bet last one and he folded, so I'm hoping he might get stubborn on this one and try and take it away from me. He flat calls, and it's a pretty good turn for me with me getting a flush draw as well. So there's not much for me to be worried about here unless he floated me with Jack 10, which isn't too likely. Okay, make a full house. He's betting into us, so just a pretty easy shove. I'm going to call here with King Queen. This guy shoves pretty loosely, as we've seen already, and I'm a short stack, so I need to take a risk there. I'm going to check raise all in with pocket nines here. Alright, so we won the roughly 60-40 situation there. Alright, this guy did call our river raise. I'm curious to see what he had. Or no, he didn't. He folded to the river bet. So he must have been bluffing there then. He must have been drawing on the turn and then decided to bluff the river. Oh man, that's pretty sick. I did shove the Jack Deuce in the heads up match, if you didn't see that. Alright, you know, this guy, he's got a pretty high attempt to steal. You know, this is close. I probably should shove it all in, but I'm going to fold it just because when called with ace-9, it's going to be in bad shape. Okay, I'll shove Jack-3 here. Okay, ace-4 blind on blind. I'm going to shove this all in. Alright, pocket kings. I'll make a 3-bet from the small blind. Could raise Jack-10 here all in, but I'm just going to let it go to lower the risk against stacks that are pretty similar in size to mine. Okay, so here I have to take a chance on the bubble. Short stack. King high is good enough to shove here. Okay, 7-6 suited. I'm going to shove this here on the button with roughly about 7.5 big blinds. Okay, here I'm going to shove this 5 high. Pick up a lot of fold equity with me being pretty close in chips to that player. And here with ace-10, I'm going to go ahead and shove this time. Folded ace-9 last time, but this situation's a little different. He's raising from the small blind, and previously he was raising from under the gun, so he's got a much wider range, and ace-10 is stronger than ace-9, so multiple changes in that hand which sway it towards a shove. Alright, I think I have to call here. Pretty equal stacks, and ace high is definitely way ahead of his range. Alright guys, I'm going to stop starting the new tournaments, and there might be a few stragglers that I was already registered in, but I've just stopped Table Ninja's auto register feature so that we can start bringing these games to a close. Okay, so this is a pretty easy fold, 3 deuce offsuit. I did make a shove up here with ace-8 and got sucked out on again, unfortunately. Alright, ace-jack, pretty easy shove there with 10 big blinds, pocket 3s as well. Yeah, I'll raise up 9-8 offsuit on the button early in the sit and go. Okay, he calls with king 7 and we win the tournament, so that's good. Alright, this is a call here with ace jack, and we got him dominated. Didn't work out though. With pocket twos here, I'm just going to fold. He's likely got a better pocket pair. It was a multi-way pot, and I just called to try and flop a set. I think players play more honestly in multi-way pots. They're not as likely to bluff because it's more likely somebody has something. So in a multi-way pot, you know, with pocket twos there, I think it's just best to fold. Alright, so I shove over the limp here. I'm going to raise this ace-9 offsuit up from the cutoff. And ace-9 suited here is definitely a call, blind on blind. He showed up with queen-8 offsuit if you didn't see that. And for 4 big blinds here, I'm going to call with ace-high. Unfortunately, he has one of the hands that dominate me. Jack-9 offsuit is a shove here for me. And go ahead and c-bet there. Okay, pocket jacks. This looks like a weaker player, so I'm going to make a play I wouldn't make against a good player. I'm just going to raise 3x in the small blind there. And hope to get called or re-raised. Alright, he does call and I flop a set. So in the spot, there's so much in the pot. He only has a pot size bet left. If I bet there, he's going to fold out all his nothing hands. So by checking, I give him the chance to bluff. He may have picked up a draw here if he has a queen or a flush draw. So I'm going to put them all in. It's about a pot size bet left and hope he calls. I definitely don't want to check and give a free card there to clubs or to a queen. So I just put them all in there. This guy check raises at, you know, here. Again, he's a weak player, so I'm going to call with pocket tens. Yeah, he just has a draw. He has real good equity against my hand, though. Okay, king jack here. I'm going to shove on the button. This player raises a lot, so I'm going to go ahead and shove sevens with about 13 big blinds. Alright, and with king queen here, I'm going to re-raise b-ball whiz. Reason being, I think the good players fold to 3 bets more often than the weak regulars and the obviously weak players. So they are capable of folding to 3 bets, and you know, blind on blind, king queen is going to be the best hand. I flop top pair. I'm going to check it back though, because I think I can induce bluffs, and I also keep the pot small against, you know, if he does have a big hand here. And he's more likely to call a bet on the turn, because I check the flop with a hand like pocket jacks or pocket tens. He might think are the best hand now because I check the flop, so I can get more value out of hands like that. Here again, a good bully spot, so I'm going to shove the jack 5 suited. This guy now bets here. Ace high could be the best hand. He's checked the whole way. I'm going to look him up here. He ended up having a deuce, so I was wrong with that one. Alright, here with queen deuce suited, I'm going to shove that blind on blind. Same thing here with jack 5 suited. I'm going to shove that. You know, I'm getting pretty good odds to call here for 1,000 more, but I don't want to double that guy up, and I also want to maintain the chip lead and continue to bully the players, you know, with the stack sizes the way they are. Okay, so definitely shoving the queen 6 suited. Okay, so queen 7 suited. I'm going to shove this one on the bubble here. And definitely ace jack there. Jack 8 offsuit against a weak player. Weak players won't call as often when you shove, I think, in comparison to regulars. So I'm going to shove the jack 8. He ended up having a strong hand, so he called, but it's the way it goes sometimes. This player called with 8-7, so I lost there. I'm going to continue to bully though. Alright, with the king jack I'll just check, and here against the other player I want to get out of the tournament, I'm going to shove. Don't really want to give him a walk and give him free chips there. Okay, so just continuing to bully here on this table. And here I'm in second place by only a slim amount, so if I can get the chip lead here, I can again start to bully. So I'm going to shove the 7-9 offsuit there. Shove king 4 offsuit there as well. Alright, so here this is a pretty clear fold. Okay, ace king here. This guy's a pretty tight player, so I'm just going to flat call again with ace king. You know, it's not as good of a play out of position, but by 3-betting, if he calls, I bloat the pot out of position with a hand that I'm going to miss the flop with 2/3 of the time. And he may even 4-bet me with stronger hands or hands I'm flipping, so just flat calling there and looking to hit, and if I don't, just going to release most of the time. Alright, so we're heads up on here. Queen 9 suited is good enough to shove. Okay, with ace king, I'm going to push the other player all in because I have him beat most of the time here. Pocket sixes. I'm just going to flat call because I don't mind letting this guy come in because it's more important for me at this point to make the money. Okay, so we did get in there. Pocket sevens. I'm going to min raise to try and induce from a worst hand. It's a little close as to whether I want to do that or not, because you may induce a shove from a hand like Jack 10 that you're flipping with, but you will also get shoves by weaker pairs and weaker aces, so that's the plan here. He woke up with a bigger hand, so that's fine. That happens. Pocket tens is a call and run into jacks, so blind on blind, that's a little unfortunate. 4-3 suited, I am going to shove heads up. We're pretty close in chips and don't really want to give him a walk there. And it plays well against hands like this. You have 40% equity, roughly. Okay, so we got 3 tables left. I'm not sure how I did this session. It felt like it went pretty well. You know, I had quite a few heads-up matches. The ace-6 suited. Against these shorter stacks, I think if I shove here, they're just snap calling, and I'm not much of a favorite against their range. So I'm just going to limp it and see a flop. Here I only have 2 big blinds left, so I'm just going to put it in with the ace-5. Alright, flop checked around, so I think I have the best hand here with ace-6. There are some draws that someone might call me with, so I am going to go ahead and bet here. Okay, 10-7 with 10 big blinds. I'm going to go ahead and shove. Okay. Alright, with ace-8 offsuit, I'm going to shove this in. The ace-deuce, I do want to play against this guy, but he's open raising to 800. So I think he's got ace-deuce beat most of the time here. So I'm going to look for a better spot. Big blind is only 100 there. Well, now it just went up, but no, I wasn't in panic mode there, so I think it's okay to fold. Okay, queen 7. I'm gonna go ahead and shove that in. Again, this guy has such a short stack. I don't think he's folding too often here. Wow, he called with queen 9. I'm going to go ahead and take a stab at this one. You know, after he checks, I think he's just kind of giving up a lot of the time. So just making a small bet there to try and take the pot down. Move this table so it's a little better for this video. Okay, 7 deuce, I'll just go ahead and fold. Jack 10 is pretty close to a shove, but from this position I'm going to fold it. If I were on the button, I would shove. Having to get through 5 players, I think, makes it a fold. Okay, this guy limps again. Queen 10, I think, is ahead of his limping range, so I'm going to put him all in. Yeah, and we got him dominated. Alright. Holds up. Alright, the A7 here, I'm going to go ahead and shove that. Jack deuce is a little too weak here, I think, with 10 big blinds to shove. You know, he calls a 10 big blind shove with deuces there. I'm not particularly big fan of that. You know, the best he's hoping for there is a coin flip. So, you know, a 10 big blind shove there is on the button is, you know, it's going to contain all pairs higher than 2s and hands he's flipping with, so not a big fan of that call, but it worked out for him. Okay, with this hand, I'm going to go ahead and shove blind on blind. Man, that's not good. I would have had a very good chance of making the money, being in second place if the jacks would have held up there. So that's, you know, even hands you're not in affect you. You know, that's kind of a bad beats, even though I wasn't involved in the hand. Okay, so with ace high, blind on blind, that's a shove. Okay, so now I'm in third place, so I definitely have to take a chance here with king 10 suited. Alright, ace 8 offsuit's good enough as well. With pocket eights, I'm going to make a small raise trying to induce a shove from worse. Alright, we do get action from B-Ball Wiz. He makes a small 3-bet. You know, I'm not sure what to make of this, but I'm definitely going with my hand. Alright, pretty standard cooler. Alright guys, well I hope the video helped, and good luck at the tables.